Hey guys, welcome to the 19th episode of the Broken Pictures podcast / YouTube show where we discuss the top 3 things in pop culture and entertainment that you might have missed. There could potentially be spoilers for your favorite TV shows, movies, comics, and or video games. You've been warned. And this is the FOMO Show. Hey, this is Dylan.
I'm Lydia.
This is Quin.
And once again, we'd like to say thanks for joining us, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening by podcast. Hello to all of our new watchers and or listeners in the States and internationally and beyond, outer space, I guess. I don't know. But also, special thank you to those who have returned. We appreciate that if you give us a thumbs up. If you want to keep the conversation going or support the show, you can, of course, comment below. You can also find all that info in the episode notes and or the website at www.broken.picturesno.com. And you can also leave us voice messages or questions because we use Anchor for our podcasting. So you can go through that. I think you can go through iTunes and Spotify and all that now to do that. So if you're interested in that, give us a little shout and we'd appreciate it. And maybe we'll play it on the show. Maybe not. Depends on your content. Depends on your attitude. YouTube viewers, please subscribe and hit the little bell icon for notifications when we put out a new video. And a thumbs up would be great. We'd appreciate that. All the thumbs ups we can get, like Wreck-It Ralph. We're just pulling them in here. So podcast listeners, please leave us 5 stars in your podcast app. We'd appreciate that very, very much. On to show notes, or not show notes, special notes. Certain Somebody is back. If you've missed this pretty face.
Ha!
We got married.
They did.
And she's been busy since we got back with all kinds of stuff. Stuff and junk and things.
Yeah.
So, you can look at her the entire time. Anyways,
well, half of me.
Half of you. Yep. Ron Swanson's peeking out from behind. I'll see you. So, we'll go ahead and issue another spoiler alert. We will be getting into spoilery areas. We speak freely in conversation. So if there's something that you don't want to hear about and you're watching, just pay attention to the words on the screen above us. And if you want to skip ahead, go ahead and skip ahead. And then, of course, the words will change. And if you're in a podcast, just keep hitting kind of like, you know.
The 10-second button.
Yeah.
The read faster. Oh, wait. That's, never mind. Stupid.
Like Audible or something.
Whatever.
Oh, well. No worries. What are you guys into this week? What have you been reading, watching, playing, listening to? Let us know what's good in pop culture this week, what you're into. Should we miss it or don't miss it? Is it not good? Quin?
Who's going first?
Oh, you want to go first? Okay. I've been talking the whole time, so I figured give you a turn.
What have I been watching this week? I haven't been watching too much of anything. Well, I found out Designated Survivor was a Netflix original now, so I started back watching that. Not too many people like it, but I like it. It's always fun.
What's that about?
So it's about the guy who was he was the Secretary of Housing, and then the Capitol got blown up during the State of the Union, and they have one cabinet member that's just kind of off somewhere that's safe, that is the president if everybody else just dies at once. And they did. And he
Of course.
And he's the president.
Not that we're showing everybody how to do it, but
yeah. Let's not talk about that. But yeah. Because it's an interesting show. It's really politicky, which it's like politics dramatized, which is basically life.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it.
The circus.
Which is probably why people aren't liking it.
Mm.
A little too real for them.
Is that the Kiefer Sutherland?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, it used to be on like ABC or something.
Yeah. And then I also got a tattoo.
Woo woo.
Wait, where'd it go? There it is. That
Hey,
way.
hey, hey.
Yeah.
Foreigner.
Jealous.
Don't be hurt.
We started the OA last night. The second part of the OA.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't call it season 2, they call it part 2.
Mm-hmm. Pretty crazy.
It's a huge gap in between the first and
But I
second
really,
season.
What?
it's not like we don't watch shows like that already.
Yeah,
Game of Thrones, Westworld,
true.
everything.
True.
Yeah, the OA was, the first part was like really wacky.
You look really confused, Quin.
Super confused. What is the OA?
What is it? Oh, it's a Netflix original.
Oh, okay.
It's weird. I honestly don't even know how to describe
It's
it.
produced by Brad Pitt. And yeah, so I mean,
It's an interdimensional drama.
it's
That's
very
how I'm gonna put it.
involved. Yeah. Well, that's kind of giving some away, but we warned you about spoilers. But it talks a lot about like the afterlife and weird stuff.
That's a bigger spoiler.
No, they get into that like at the very beginning.
Okay, whatever.
Anyways, it's a lot. I'm just gonna say that like it covers a lot of stuff, and there's some really good talent in it.
For sure.
Cool.
Phyllis from The Office is in it. So if nothing else, watch it for Phyllis Vance of Vance Refrigeration.
Yeah, she's a national treasure. She's from St. Louis. Represent.
Phyllis Smith is her real name. She plays Betty in the show.
Mm.
Okay.
A lot of dead air. We're getting used to my coffee hasn't kicked in. Sorry. Oh, you like my little... It's not a sticker. It's a magnet. You can get those online. And that's a sticker. And these are shirts. You can get those at our store at Broken Down Pictures /store. Let's see. We watched... For Pizza Movie Night, what did we watch again? Oh my goodness.
I just told somebody the other day what we watched, and now I forgot. The Grinch.
Yeah.
The new Grinch movie, which
new Grinch.
sucked.
Yeah.
For all you people who said, oh, I'm better than Jim Carrey.
Oh.
I hate you.
The one where Cumberbatch was the Grinch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was cute. It was
No, it wasn't.
yeah.
It was on no level on par with The Lorax, which was a very precious movie.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And did everything
It-
Dr. Seuss justice. The Grinch was just
Garbage.
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah.
Cumberbatch
he was
garbage.
just- yeah. He was just like a misunderstood Who, basically. It wasn't like...
It didn't
yeah,
explain why he was green. Didn't explain anything.
Yeah. Though the other one didn't. Well,
Yeah, he flew in from a far away land.
yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
I didn't like it.
Interesting.
But all Maeve could talk about was, I loved how he was so much nicer to the dog in this one.
Like 3 times.
Every 5 minutes in the movie, everything he did something nice to the dog. It was like, we get it. We get it.
Yeah.
To the dog.
Yeah, like I think it was like my cousin posted on my thing. It was like, I like how in this one, like they didn't bully him, and I was like, that's why he was the Grinch.
Yeah, he was so mean.
Yeah.
It's like you're
And
just
wanted
taking
to-
the oomph out of his
And
character.
take all their Christmas stuff.
Yeah, like this one, he's basically the Grinch because he was an orphan and he had a bad Christmas, where he didn't get anything, so now he hates Christmas.
Set this movie on fire.
Yeah, it was like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka, or whatever. Took it to the extreme just because he couldn't have it.
Yep,
Okay
just
then.
burn it down.
Yep.
He went all Daenerys on him.
Oh my gosh. That's a spoiler right there. I hope you're really caught up. All right, moving along.
All right. Oh, yeah. So, forgive me, I have allergies, so I don't sound normal, but the number 1 movie of the week is The Secret Life of Pets 2. It's, 54% rotten? What? Rotten? I thought if it was over 50%, it was fresh. I quit.
No,
Rotten.
Fresh is like in the top 80% of it.
Ah.
Think he's
That's-
changing
yeah.
all these rules.
Yeah, so speaking of changing rules, I mean, we talked about it a little bit last week, but Rotten Tomatoes has changed their audience score so that you can't just go online and say I don't like that movie, like so many people did with Captain Marvel, Black Panther, other ones.
Also, if any of you noticed this before me, Captain Marvel was in Friends. She was in Friends at one point. Brie Larson was, I think. No, yeah, it definitely wasn't her. I'm just realizing the age gap. There's no way it was her.
Unless she played really, really young. Really young.
And this was like an adult, so it wasn't her. But she doesn't look like out there. I'll have to figure that out.
Interesting.
I'll have to ask Abby what she thought of The Secret Life of Pets. Her and Annie and Ruben went to see it.
Yeah, I watched that with the kids this past week because they were like, "Oh, the new one's coming out," and I was like,
"You watched the old one?" I was
we watched the old one. Sorry. Yeah. I'm glad you caught that I didn't put 2 in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I almost pulled Ron Burgundy. I put all kinds of crazy things in there. So the bad thing is that, I mean, of course, everybody knows what's up with Dark Phoenix. Just, it's the first X-Men movie of the entire franchise to not debut at number 1. What? What's so funny?
He's sipping his Dark Phoenix wine over there. It's got a...
Is it bitter?
It's got a woody afterbirth.
Afterbirth?
That's what Michael says.
Oh, this is gross.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I mean, that could have been a whole subject within itself. Is just like how, like they're saying Jennifer Lawrence phoned it in and ruined the whole movie.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about.
No. But I can't help myself. That's it. I'm done. I'm still gonna see it when it comes out outside of the theater.
Oh, I'll catch it on a Tuesday.
Going up on a Tuesday.
Probably catch it when it hits Netflix, like we watched The Grinch on Netflix.
Well, it won't be on Netflix because Disney Plus will be a thing by then.
All right, we're not getting into that. In theaters. Ain't you gonna like put it on the screen or something?
So in theaters, disc and digital will be on your screen now. Okay. So, all right, our top 3 in pop culture this week. We're going to start off with number 1.
Sephora, what are you doing, boo? You had some folks come in there and accuse SZA of stealing. Why are you going to do that? So, Sephora is taking action immediately. So, she took to Twitter like everyone does these days. SZA took to Twitter, and that's a mouthful. Trying to say that 3 times fast.
SZA took to Twitter.
SZA took to Twitter.
New rubber baby buggy bumpers. I still couldn't say it right.
No.
Sorry.
Yep. And was like, hey, that ain't cool. And Rihanna sent her a gift card, tweeted her back, and Sephora also tweeted her back and was like, hey, that's not our standard. Sorry that happened. So in action, to really show how serious they are closing every single branch of Sephora for an entire day to do a non-discrimination training, which is really, really cool. I mean, that's a big deal to take a full day you're paying every single employee that Sephora has a full day of work and being closed. Like, you didn't split it across 2 days. You didn't do half and half or East Coast, West Coast, nothing like that.
Ain't making a dime that day.
Yeah, like that's a hard sell. And so I hope that SZA and everyone really appreciates what that takes as a business to do that and saying, hey, we truly are not going to stand for this kind of thing. Because Sephora is so proud of everything that they have. And it's like, I mean, there are certain rules that they have about making sure that you can't discriminate against anyone. And so, I mean, you go in there with no makeup on and they're like, here, let me match you, beautiful. Like, no, I know you hate me.
Yeah. If you're a dude like me, Sephora is in like all the Dillard's and it's
Sephora's a makeup
store.
Yeah. It's the one that has Fenty, which is Rihanna's line, which is why Rihanna came out and gave her a gift card. And was like, hey, really, please don't do this. You're going to kill my line. Please don't do this. I mean, I saw it as a marketing move for Rihanna, not necessarily like a, hey, singer, here's a gift card. But either way, it might have been. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know Rihanna's motives or intentions or her heart about it, but you do you. Mm-hmm. That's all I got to say about
But yeah, so I mean, they're obviously following suit of Starbucks, who had the same issue. That was about a year ago or something, when one of the managers called the police on some gentlemen that were in there to get a coffee or use Wi-Fi or something.
They were waiting on another guy for a meeting.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and then they were like, "Hey, if you're not gonna buy something, get out." And they were like, "No,
this is Starbucks. Like literally half the people here are not buying anything."
Yeah. So they went ahead and called the police, and pretty sure somebody lost their job.
Oh, for sure.
After it was all over.
So, I mean, obviously this is a deal moving forward. You want to talk about the countercultural revolution or whatever in America right now, what's going on with race and politics. This is obviously a good thing for companies and people in power to stand up and say, hey, we're going to do the right thing. We're going to treat people like people. It's just the right thing to do. So no matter how you feel about it, it's the right thing to do. And it's always the right time to do the right thing.
Good on you, Sephora.
So,
also says a great job for speaking up and taking to Twitter. Everybody's got your back. Mm-hmm. But moving right along.
Woo woo. Number 2.
It itches.
I thought you were clapping in a really weird way.
I should have put some ointment on it before I came because it's itching like a thing.
Did you have the saran wrap over it for a couple days or whatever?
No. Uh-oh. They just said, they're like, okay, it's done. I'm like, okay, cool.
And then hit the world.
Pretty much. And then I put some triple antibiotic ointment on it and went about my day.
Word.
Wow.
Yeah, don't let it dry out.
No, I just gotta let
Not
it
that
breathe.
I know. I don't have any tattoos yet.
Shay said to let it breathe because she has a few tattoos and I've been having like the ointment on it. Like if I'm not cleaning it, I have ointment on it. It's like it's fine, let it breathe. What's happening? Oh, yeah, number 2. So E3 this year so far has had so many interesting things. Yes, so many interesting hand gestures and announcements and so Nintendo, as we're actually recording right now, Nintendo is having their E3 conference and they have a few things. Pretty much we all know what's coming out with Nintendo because they had a direct last Friday. But one of the...
So, yeah, I don't know. What are they coming out?
They got
beefing
Pokemon.
up the Switch?
Yes, and they also might be announcing the Switch Mini, which is just like basically a Switch. Kinda, that's basically what it is. Because I don't think it can connect to a dock.
Yeah, because the Switch itself is portable.
Yeah, but the Switch Mini, the controllers aren't detachable. It should, like designs I've seen are gonna be. It's a little bit smaller, probably about this big, and then there you go.
This is like a PS4.
Pretty much.
Oh,
but Nintendo.
Interesting.
But
not mad. Now I can play Mario like an adult. Instead of my kid's Mario decked out 3DS.
Yes.
Yeah, with all the logos and pictures and stuff.
But when was it? Sunday, early morning Sunday, Google had their E3 conference for why. And this is why. To announce the Google Stadia, Stadia, which is basically So you know the little Google Dots they have?
Yeah.
It looks like that. You connect it to your TV or just kind of have it with you connected to Wi-Fi and a controller, and then you can stream any game that they have in their catalog.
So it's like a cloud for gamers.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
See, yeah, this is like
Revolution.
Exactly. This is revolutionary. I know for me as a PC gamer, this is a big deal because, or like I've been a PC gamer for a long time, just because you can get better graphics and updates and all kinds of user tweaks and stuff like that. You do all kinds of a lot more with PC than consoles.
Yeah.
So, but you have to constantly be upgrading your graphics card, your processor, that kind of thing, because there's always bigger, better games. But with this one, they do all that on their side of it. So basically, all you've got to do is have a really fast internet connection, and you've got that. That's it.
Yeah.
Everything is going subscription service.
Yep. Well, with this, you pay for the device. I mean, I haven't said anything about any sort of like subscription for it. So the device, when it comes out, it's going to be $129 plus tax, like $140. And you have
That's not bad for a console.
It's not bad at all, which is also why I don't like it. Make me pay $400.
Take my money.
But once you have it, like, you have the games. You just have to connect the Wi-Fi. If you have really good Wi-Fi and it's on like a TV that can support 4K, then you can stream your game in 4K and have a good day.
Where's the dog who's like going like this? That's my face right now, who's like squinting because something's suspicious about that.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like data mining me through my games and listening to me and
absolutely.
controlling my life.
Right.
Google's gonna control everything.
Yeah.
Like,
they've
how are
already
you
got Alexa
not
and
gonna
everything.
have everyone pay monthly for something like that? It's like, hey, we got this cool little thing. Don't worry about it. Just buy it. Put it in your house. We'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
Enjoy some games while we ruin your life.
Yeah. And we were
They're
talking about
gonna take
Apple
over.
last week. They had their worldwide developer conference, and they do the same thing but they don't. Well, of course they're doing it to their customers, data mining and stuff. But like their new music service has all the radio stations, but they're inviting people like our iHeartRadio and all these internet sources to bring their radio stations to Apple, and they'll host them there. But they do the same thing because in a couple years they'll have all those connections and they'll kick iHeartRadio and all them out because they don't need them anymore. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And yeah, they do that all the time.
that's weird.
Because they figure out, okay, well, this is what it takes to work. We'll just make our own now.
I'm just saying that the last season of Parks and Rec is coming. If y'all ain't watching, y'all be looking for it. Okay.
Boom, boom.
Okay.
And freaking Keanu Reeves.
Oh yeah, Keanu Reeves, Cyberpunk 2077. I don't know who his character's supposed to be, but
Him.
Oh, it's
Him in the future. Not
It's
aged
so-
at all, just a robotic arm.
It's so weird. Like his character, I looked it up. It's like he's like Johnny Silverarm.
that's what
He's like leader of this band, this heavy metal band or something. It's the main character. It's
Ha!
so crazy.
Get it? A heavy metal band. He has a metal arm.
Because I know in Cyberpunk
Literally shredding the guitar.
2077, because of his arm.
Yeah.
This
you got
guy.
it.
So before he came out and talked about the game, they talked about it a little bit, and especially like last year E3, like you're supposed to be this bounty hunter and everything that's in this automatronic dystopia future that,
It's like
body.
kind of akin to like Blade Runner or something like that.
Yeah. But like, so the game itself is based off of a board game that came out in the 80s.
What?
Yeah, which I was like, that's interesting.
That's
But they've been
That is like the
To
most
me.
80s thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. So, and this is, and like the game is, when Keanu Reeves came out and talked about it, he said it's a game where you're gonna have choices, and your choices, you can change your body, your choices can change the world, your choices have like so much impact that you should pay attention to what you're doing. But
Kind of like that.
yeah, so
It's like teaching people subliminal consequences, which not enough of the world knows. Understands.
It's like when Keanu Reeves tweets, treat animals well or I'll kill you.
Leave it to Keanu Reeves to do something and like be a part of something like that.
yeah.
Wholesomeness has made its return.
If you haven't seen the Nerdist video on that, please
so
do.
good.
Jessica
Yeah.
Chobot's reaction to that is everything.
Yeah, and like it's the Keanu Sans right now. He's the new Matthew McConaughey. He's in everything. Everybody loves him. He's the new
He
Silver
is
Fox.
bigger and better than Matthew McConaughey. A part of us also didn't like Matthew, and none of us, not any part of us, don't like Keanu.
So have you seen that there's a little teaser for Toy Story 4 where he plays the like Canada's best action hero or stuntman? It's Canada's best stuntman, I think. Duke Kaboom. And supposedly, like people who've seen Toy Story 4 say that he stole the show. And there's a video of him acting out his part, and he's just like, "Hey, yeah, kaboom, bam, yeah." and Chris Evans retweeted and was like, "If this is all Toy Story is, I'll probably see it in the theater twice."
Oh,
so yeah, it's like, and we could just go on and on about Keanu, but E3, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot.
Tons of video games. Bethesda's got new stuff coming out. New Marvel, Avengers
the
video
Avengers
game,
which is going to be really fun. Like I showed Dylan the trailer earlier, and so the way that this game is, it's Square Enix is the company that's doing it. And if you don't know Square Enix, if you ever play Final Fantasy, any of them, that's Square Enix.
Speaking of Final Fantasy VII,
oh yes, the remake.
Oh my god,
mouth-watering.
so good.
Like yes, it's already has my money. I already pre-ordered it. So. But for the new Avengers game, you're starting out with 5 Avengers: Hulk, Iron Man, Cap, Captain America. Don't know why I did what I just did. Thor, and Black Widow. And if you're expecting to be like, the MCU, don't, because it's Square Enix interpretation of these characters,
Right.
and how they, how they're supposed to be.
Think back before we had the MCU and the comic book characters could look like anybody or anything.
Pretty much.
Then the game people would look different, and there was no like established face for these characters.
That's what they are.
No, don't like that.
But so the way the story goes, they're opening on A-Day, Avengers Day. They're opening up.
That's the nerdiest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It's the I was gonna say the year of the nerds, but it's more like the several decades of the nerd. Right?
Y'all just been underground for so long, we didn't know.
The light, give me a code.
Literally, because you spend so many hours in your garage or basement away from the light.
I need a surge.
Doritos.
Where are my Slim Jims, brother? Where are they?
You know I don't like you talk to me while I'm playing, Mom.
I don't know why all I can picture is David Cross off of Men in Black. You want some bagel bites?
Where was I? Oh yeah, Avengers.
Yeah.
But
Coming out on A-Day.
yeah. So Avengers Day, they get attacked, and when they're opening the West Coast Avengers headquarters, they get attacked. They have a helicarrier. Tony has some experimental technology on it. It gets tampered with. The helicarrier blows up. Captain America's still on the helicarrier, so he's dead. We assume, maybe. And then the Avengers disband and then reband for a greater threat. And then, like, in the trailer, you saw Hulk, like, lock fists, because you can't lock hands with Abomination and Taskmaster.
Not in a happy way.
Not in a happy way. And then Black Widow is fighting Taskmaster. And, yeah, so they got a good cast of villains. And then they also said the major thing with this game, once you buy the game, any additional content that comes out with it, whether it be more story DLC, missions, or anything, you don't have to pay for it. So, like, no season pass.
So
Shut up and
happy
take my
somebody
money.
is breaking that chain.
They said no loot boxes, no pay to win. Like, it's just going to be a game that's going to have stuff that comes out over years.
Thank you. That, like, I used to be really into games, and when it got to where like downloadable content, and like you can't just like unlock it by doing more missions, like you got to buy it and all this, it just takes all the fun out of it. Like you can't even play a phone game anymore, like finding something you can play without just like, oh, you got to purchase this to go further, or even to win you got to purchase these things. Like that's so ridiculous. Like I just don't even want to play anymore.
It gets that way. Well, the other
So
thing.
Final Fantasy VII looks amazing.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen like a comparison shot. The original was like so blocky, and then the new ones look like freaking real people.
Yep.
It's amazing. It's insane.
So,
I need to have this game. When it first came out, I borrowed it and I like just went underground and played it for 2 weeks and beat it.
That's a long 2 weeks. That game was really lengthy.
Yeah. That's. I mean, literally, I probably slept like 2 hours.
Wow.
Just like it's another reason I don't play video games anymore. No one would know who I am. Not that they do.
No one would support that.
For sure. Yeah, my
But
kids. Yeah,
This
not
game,
either.
they did push it back a little bit from because it was supposed to come out last year, really, but they pushed it back just because they had it on the same engine as Final Fantasy 15, but then they went through and retweaked the game and redid some things, and they put it on a little bit of a stronger engine just so the game could be like, oh yeah, that's exactly the way it needed to be.
Heck yeah.
But that's gonna be good.
All good things take
Power to
time.
the people.
They do.
Yes, and take your time. Don't rush it. Get it right.
Don't Assassin's Creed us.
Yeah. We don't want to be walking through walls and falling through holes and that aren't there.
But
I think he means glitches.
Yeah.
those two. But sometimes, you can just turn on your game and nobody has a face. Unless it's
Which would
silent.
kind of look like the normal one because all they had was eyes.
Yeah, they were just big eyes with heads. Neat. But Xbox had their conference. They gave an actual release date to Gears 5, which is September 5th of this year.
Sorry.
The character off of Parks and Rec who has a new show about like sports and stuff.
Yeah,
and
they're
the
probably like season 3 or 4 by now, but
Oh yeah, I did say new show, huh? Anyway, all he does on the commercials is yell gear the whole time.
that's the name of the show. Is like John.
What is his name?
John Clow? I can't remember. His show is just about new gear for this, new gear for that, and he'll bring in experts to show like what this gear works for that and whatever it is. But he's just like geeking out over gear.
John Glacier.
John Glacier, yeah. But the commercials are literally like he's sitting there with somebody and he'll turn with the bullhorn and just go gear.
So anytime I hear that now, that's all I can say.
They also announced Xbox Project Scarlet, which that name may change, but right now they're just calling it Xbox Scarlet. Which, so
Codename Scarlet.
have you heard of the Xbox? You know of the Xbox One X?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, what's going? Has that come out yet?
Yeah, it's out. It's been out. It's still $500. But the Xbox One X is actually, like, if you like put it on paper, it is the strongest gaming console in existence right now. But they put the same team that created that to make the Xbox Project Scarlet, and they said that they have basically, like, it's going to be the first gaming console that's going to have 8K just like as its standard. And it's frames per second. They said the frames per second they got were literally unearthly. Like when they first started doing it, they were able to get to 100 frames per second, and now when it comes out, they said it should be at 120 frames per second.
Dang.
Which is just like, oh, you're not gonna hit me if you have lag.
just so you know, like you watch a movie in the theater, that's 24 frames a second. TV is like 30 frames a second. Video games like 60
frames per second is
What does that mean, frames per second? Like how quick it's moving?
Yeah,
Yes.
of course, you know, like a frame of it's just basically like the picture in the film, and that's how many pictures fit in a second. And so it determines like how much ghosting and things like that you get, and blur
and all that.
The more frames per second, the less blur you get, and it looks a lot sharper and more realism. Which is like when Peter Jackson filmed The Hobbit, I want to say in 60 frames per second or something like that.
Yeah.
Everybody was freaking out because it looked so too real. It was like, no. Because part of the allure of film is the dreamy,
separation.
Yeah.
But no, it looked like life, and that's what they're trying to do. They said that they want this console to immerse everyone into the game. Like once you start playing the game, you don't even think you're playing a game. You think, oh, I'm just watching a life unfold in front of me. But now that's not what
like
we want to hear.
Wall-E.
It's like Avatar. I'm not
Yeah.
plugging myself in.
Like I smoothed out this, like, and also a VR headset to go with it. But I was like,
Ready Player One.
like, please don't hit me with that dot hat sigh. I'm not ready.
I was about to
So-
say, like, surely by the time it comes out, it'll be VR.
Yeah, but right now they're saying
Or
no.
AR would be even
But
cooler
they
right now, too.
announced that. They announced the processing power for it and everything, and like gave us more details on it. But I'm pretty sure more to come, as well as like a different name. Because I'm not too hype on Project Scarlet.
Yeah, because watch PlayStation next month and be like, haha, Project what? Bam! PlayStation 5.
They announced. They said it exists. It's gonna exist. They just haven't had any sort of talks about it. So we'll see. But what else? Oh, they announced the first game that's gonna come. That's gonna launch with it because it's supposed to come out next year, holiday 2020. So November of next year.
Great.
Jeez, and X1 just came out.
Yup. Like last year.
Like, way to undermine yourself.
I was like, well,
Especially when you've got the biggest, baddest thing on the market. You're just one-upping yourself.
Yeah. we're just
But
making
it's kind of smart because if you think about it, that's going to come out around Christmas. It's going to be sold out. It's going to be really expensive. People are going to go to your second best version. They're going to buy you out of all that stock. You're going to sell everything you had. And then come the new year when people get their tax return, guess what they're going to buy? They're going to have two.
I mean, that's what happened with when the Xbox One came out. Like everybody that didn't have a 360 went and bought a 360 because they were like dirt cheap.
Yeah, the price is going to go down on that.
It's a good way to sell your old product.
Yeah. But Google's got a good point with the Stadia because, I mean, once you get the Stadia, I mean, they upgrade all that on that end. So you don't have to buy it for hardware upgrades outside of getting faster internet.
We're getting there. They also announced that's also going to be coming out. It's going to have a disk drive. But if you don't want to use a disk drive and you want to just have Xbox Live, their new whatever subscription that will have this in there, you can do the xCloud streaming, which you can stream games through your Xbox.
I got an email about that yesterday. It's like $15 a month. It includes Live, which is normally $10 a month by itself.
Yep.
And it includes streaming to your PC and Xbox. So that's like 100 games that are rotating, like new games. Yeah.
So many more. Because like they said that they're like buffing up their catalog. So pretty much like every year they say we're, adding in older games, some games that haven't been out here before, some games that were never released over here in America or wherever, and just putting it in there. They said by the time this comes out, every game they've ever created or published or anything that's had anything to do with the Xbox will be available in the cloud.
Of course. But if you're Lydia, if it's not Sonic, Mario, Bandicoot, SpongeBob.
Don't want to play. Burnout.
Burnout, yeah.
Burnout 2, obviously, not the first one.
Old PlayStation games.
Yeah. If you are not... Yep, never mind. Hit it.
Okay.
All right.
They announced Halo Infinite which is going to be the game that launches with the Project Scarlet. And then, wait, I feel like I'm missing something. Am I missing anything? Catalog jump? Nope. Watch Dogs? That's fine. No one cares. This last one's actually kind of big because I'm really excited. It's Star Wars The Fallen Order.
Looks really good.
It does. It's made by EA, and since, like...
Sports. What's that guy? Like, that's all I can hear anytime ever.
Oh.
It's like Madden.
Yeah. He'd always like what's the name of the guy from Star Wars Episode 1 who would always
Jar Jar Binks. Oh no.
the
Bing.
Gungan leader.
Oh,
What's
yeah,
his
yeah.
name?
The fish. It's a trap.
No,
That guy.
no, not
No.
Admiral Akbar. Like the leader of the Gungans.
Yeah.
When they go underwater and he's like, use up.
Yeah,
Okay.
that.
Anyway,
Okay.
and he slobbers all over everybody.
Yeah, that's what I
Thought that was
Yeah.
the same thing. No problem.
No. It's a different fish guy. He's more like a frog-looking guy.
Yeah.
Okay. It just,
Anyway,
it has no
anyways,
relevance
anyways.
in my
But
brain.
yeah, Star Wars: The Fallen Order. They actually got they kind of not an all-star cast. They brought in some names to do this. You know, with everybody, if it's an actor doing it, they're gonna use the motion capture and everything to capture their facial expressions. So it's basically a movie that you're playing. But the Cameron
Yep.
What did we say that?
Monahan.
Monahan?
Who played
It doesn't look like Monahan.
Jerome Valeska in Gotham is the main character.
From Shameless.
Oh yeah, also yes. He's the main character, Cal Kestis. And
Cal
then-
Cactus.
Cal Cactus.
Cowl cactus. No, I'm kidding.
And then they have Forrest Whitaker reprising his role as Sol Guerrera.
Nice.
But this takes place like maybe a year or two after Episode 3, so he's not crazy old Rogue One Sol Guerrera.
Yeah, because
How do you spell that?
like the
Never mind, found it.
the theory of Saw Gerrera and him in everything but Rogue One was cool.
But
Oh. Just looked it up. And not Darth Vader.
yeah. But the director for this game is also the director for the original three God of War games. So this game has a lot of promise.
I love God of War.
Yes. Oh, and one of the writers was one of the writers for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Ooh, I love Knights of the Old Republic.
You love everything.
So
That's like when I was really into video games. Like
you know, they know what they're doing. But
I still have it on PC.
That's I have it on my Xbox because they let me buy it, so I have the first two.
Yeah.
But that's all from E3 so far. I'm pretty sure there will be much more to come because Nintendo's happening as we speak, and Sony is also going to happen, I believe.
Which is PlayStation.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Man, and you can stream that on YouTube, right?
YouTube. Yeah.
I did not know this. I used to I was relenting the days, or not relenting, but I was whining about the days of G4 where I just turn on the TV and live coverage all the time, and I was like, where do I go to get that? And he's like, oh, YouTube. I was like, oh.
But yeah, YouTube.
Yep.
That's about
Yep.
it with that. And now, finally,
Bum bum bum.
number 3. It is
Too fast. Too furious. I'm trying to bring the energy up. It's not working.
After 9 movies, there is no energy left.
Yeah. Hobbs and Shaw would be 9. Fast 9 is on deck right now. So yeah, Fast and Furious is really up in their game. They were originally, of course, Dominic. You know, Dom is the main character, and when it started to falter after number 3, Vin Diesel stepped in as executive producer and has really righted the series and made it a lot more entertaining and brought in a lot of huge cast of stars on top of it, including The Rock, that he supposedly has this huge beef with, so much so that they really won't go forward together. So The Rock has his own Fast and Furious franchise spinoff Hobbs and Shaw coming up with Idris Elba and all kinds of stuff. So, but there's also news that going forward, before Hobbs and Shaw even comes out, it hasn't come out yet, has it? I don't think it has.
Not yet.
That Keanu Reeves has a secret role. Like, he's the mastermind. He's the puppet master behind the scenes pulling Idris Elba's strings. And,
Wow, spoiler.
well, I mean, this is
I'm kidding. Keep going.
speculation. This is rumors on the internet. So, of course, it won't be confirmed until the movie comes out. But also, Ryan Reynolds has signed on for the next Hobbs and Shaw. And which I would love to see him in the original franchise rather than Hobbs and Shaw. Because I think it's Hobbs and Shaw he's signed on to. Because I would love to see him go back and forth with Tyrese and Ludacris.
That would be best.
That would be hilarious.
Yes.
Also for Fast 9, John Cena has signed on. So they, of course, The Rock is like, I'm not going to go Fast 9 anymore because of his beef with Vin Diesel, who is basically Dom. I don't know what their deal is outside of rumors that The Rock is just too big a star and he's overshadowing Vin Diesel and he doesn't like that. And he's starting to kind of push his weight around, saying, I want this, I want that, I should be the star. Of course, he's not cool with that. So he's just like, you go over there. So
Take your wrestler friends with you.
yeah, except that now we need a new wrestling star, and we're pulling in John Cena.
Who's that one guy that they can't see? Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. Speaking of, I want to say Roman Reigns is
He
in
is.
the cast for Hobbs and Shaw. Yeah.
No, he's not.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not only
Okay, I
that,
might actually watch this.
so, like, he plays Hobbs. That's Rock's character. He plays his Hobbs's cousin, and he's visiting him, and they get attacked while he's visiting him, and they get to beat people up together. I'm like, oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, and they do it old school because Mama sold the guns, and
Yeah.
it actually looks pretty cool. I mean, either way, I'm gonna see it just because I'm a junkie for action films. Yeah. No matter how, I say no matter how bad the plot, but some things you just hey, you know what you're going there for. And it's not award-winning plot. So also in the Fast and Furious universe, I keep thinking that there's one more that I'm missing that has signed on to go forward with him too, but Netflix has also announced that they're going to do an animated series of Netflix our Fast and Furious spinoff with Dom's younger cousin, Tony Toretto. And it's going to be called, what was it? Too Young, Too Furious. Yeah, that's the real name. So...
Why? It could have just been Fast and Furious, the animated series.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a spinoff, and also Vin Diesel has also promised that there will be an all-female spinoff coming, which is interesting because then we'll get to see Letty lead her own team. I always forget that Gal Gadot is part of the Fast and Furious universe too.
Cliff Curtis, who plays in the AMC Fear the Walking Dead, or did, is in it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What's he look like?
That guy, Travis.
Oh, okay.
He plays Luke Hobbs' brother number 2.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, he's actually from New Zealand, not Hawaii, but...
He's a Kiwi.
Yeah, he's an islander.
What?
A Kiwi.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Awkward.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. Any you guys have any thoughts on that kind of thing other than what we've already covered?
That's what
Why did I click on his page and that's the top thing? Like,
Who is that?
It's Ric Flair in a game.
Joe and Noah?
And Hawaii.
Anyway?
he's apparently in it as well.
Yeah. Okay. So Rock has pulled in all his wrestler friends to...
Well, Joe and Hawaii is Roman Reigns. That's just his Roman.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Did you think his name was really Roman Reigns?
You
It's
never
spelled
know.
Reigns.
I mean, my real name is Dylan Law, so everybody. I got an award once for like the name most likely to be a character in a TV series.
Oh,
But yeah, so I mean, The Rock can definitely pull in some star power too. So it's pretty smart as a producer for Vin Diesel to say, hey, you know what? We can't really afford to lose The Rock because of our beef. So I'm going to put it aside and just, hey, you do your own thing, and you can pull in the star power, and he's not shooting himself in the foot. It's pretty clever on that end. Because I mean, they've pulled in Idris Elba, Ryan Reynolds, all these other people, and Jason Statham, of course, is along for the ride.
he's always along for a ride with his knives.
It's like these. It's like the Expendables, only with like current action heroes.
Pretty much it. Until Sylvester Stallone's like, hey, let me be in the movie too. I can punch something. I still got a good right hook.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, The Rock is looking at like remember last week we were talking about The Rock wants to be in the Marvel universe.
Oh.
There's two rumors going on, and I tagged it in the last video, but there's a rumor that they're looking at him for The Thing, and there's also a rumor that they're looking at him for Namor.
No.
He's way too big to be Namor. Like
Huge.
like 10, 15 years ago, Rock, maybe, like with the hairline and everything.
Yeah, but this swole freaking gorilla that walks through doors and has to go through sideways? No.
It's like every social media video of The Rock, he's either at a premiere or in the gym.
That's it.
Or in a turtleneck.
Yeah, or buttoning his
That's his life. It's the whole time. It's like button collars. Oh, they gotta go to another premiere for a movie I didn't have time to film because I was at the gym. They just put me in there digitally. But, I'm still not swole enough. Let me just keep... Yeah. What does he say? He says a thing.
You smell it.
No. Clanging and banging. That's what he says.
Clanging and banging.
When he's lifting weights, it's clanging and banging.
Wow. Okay. Come to think, I may be way off on this, but I want to say maybe Terry Crews is the new one that's coming to Fast and Furious.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Terry
Yeah.
Crews.
Terry Crews, yeah.
Yeah, he does the thing.
I freaking love Terry Crews. Like, this guy, like...
Making my way downtown. Oh,
he says White Girls 2 is
Kenna.
happening, by the way. I know I'm getting off track here, but I cannot get past, of course, the Old Spice commercials and the new State Farm commercial, but also the premiere for Expendables where he shows up and they're all in tuxes and everything. He rips his shirt off and he's got like a pink bikini top on. and of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Stallone are just like, oh my God. Oh man, I love that guy. So I would love to see what he could bring to Fast and Furious 2. All right, you guys got anything else?
That was one other thing I forgot to mention. So the video game that George R.R. Martin was collaborating with Bethesda with is called Elden Ring. There's really not too much else out about it yet. Namco Bando, my bad. But not too much else out about it right now, but it looks interesting. It has a real Dark Souls feel to it. So if you know what that means, you know that this game is going to be actual hell for you.
Dark.
But yeah, that's about it.
Yep, cool.
Once again, we'd like to say thanks for joining us by YouTube or podcast. If you want to keep the conversation going or support the show, you can. And by doing that, you can, of course, comment below, but you can also find that info in the episode notes or the website at www.brokendotpictures.com. And don't forget that you can leave us voice messages or questions that we can play on the show if you go to Anchor, www.anchor.fm/The FOMO Show, or download the Anchor app. YouTube viewers, please subscribe and hit the little bell icon for notifications or new videos. Sorry, just scrolling right on past. Podcast listeners, please leave us 5 stars in your podcast app. I'm Lydia.
Leave us likes. I'm Dylan.
Leave us thumbs ups. I'm Quin.
Take care of yourself.
Have
Peace.
a good night. Day.